to another episode of Wicked Easy Cooking. Today we're going to make strombolis. If you've never had strombolis, you are in for a super treat. Maybe you've had calzones before, which are more of like a turnover, kind of a pocket with stuff in it. Well, stromboli's similar, but it's longer and it's rolled up like a jelly roll. It was invented actually in Philadelphia, but they think the name Stromboli came after the island of Stromboli. But today I've got two easy recipes that you could do at home. Get your kids involved. They're fun to make. So the first one I'm going to make is a traditional one, which is made with deli meats. That's the classic way. So I'm going to put some hard salami, pepperoni, ham, provolone cheese, mozzarella, parmesan in there. I may throw in some Kalamata olives. I like those. Some fresh basil leaves. There's lots of options, which I'll tell you about. Like all recipes, change it up. If you don't like that, put in something different. You know, it's easy. The second one I'm going to show you is wicked easy meatball strombolis. So I have a bunch of pre-cooked meatballs here left over from another meal. I've got some marinara sauce, mozzarella, parmesan, a little garlic oil we're going to rub on the bread. And we're going to make like a meatball sub, but it's going to be all rolled up like a jelly roll. Kids love this. So let's get started. Let me show you how I make it. Okay, so classically, strombolis are made with usually pizza dough. Now, being a wicked easy recipe, you don't have to make your own pizza dough. You can if you want. There's some really great recipes out there, and maybe I'll make one in a future episode. But what I suggest you do is you just go to your nearest grocery store and buy some there. Or maybe your favorite pizza place. They may sell it too. I go to my local grocery store. I can pick up a 1 pound pizza ball here for under $2. It's like $1.80, $1.70. So that's really cheap. So why should I go and make it when I can have it? And even now, they're coming out pre-rolled. So instead of it being that ball and you have to push it all down, they put it through a sheeter and flatten it for you, and then they separate it with paper. So you can see this one is already folded up in here, if I can get it open. So you can see it's already folded, separated by paper, so it's already rolled out, and I just have to unroll it all the way, and I've got my pizza dough. So it's very easy, economical, quick to get it this way. So as you can see maybe on the back, I already have two unfolded. I've got my flour and my rolling pin, and then I'm going to have this third one here. I'm going to let my kids make any one they want with it. So let me show you how to start rolling. Okay, so as you can see, I've unfolded the dough, so I don't have much rolling to do. Just want to kind of shape it. Now it's not going to be a round traditional like a pizza because I want it to fit onto this sheet tray, which I have some parchment paper on. So you can spray them, you can put parchment paper, you can even put a little cornmeal if you want it to be more like a traditional pizza on the bottom. So I have my rolling pin, I've already put flour on my bench here, put some on here. Now we just want to, kind of flatten out the big bumps. So we always start in the middle, of course, and roll out to the edges. So we'll do this. And the first one I'll make, I think, will be the meatball one. That's the easiest one to make. So if you have leftover meatballs, that's a great way to use them up. You can also buy meatballs, buy some frozen ones. There's some pretty good products out there. Again, that makes it wicked easy to have those. Or earlier video, I made one on sous vide meatballs, so you could certainly do that. So I have this one rolled out. It's ready to go. Okay, so the dough is rolled out. Now we can just add our marinara sauce. Again, using a canned variety, jarred variety is fine. There's some good ones out there. Or you can look at, online to get a recipe for homemade marinara. Or you could look at one of my videos on sauces and see those different ones out there. Now, when I spread the marinara, you don't want it too thick, because remember, it's going to have multiple layers of this once it gets rolled up like a jelly roll. So I also try not to touch the edges on the side with the sauce or at the top, because that's where we're going to kind of glue it together. So we don't want to really go that too far, so that's about it right there. Okay, so that's pretty good. Then you take these meatballs, which I've already cut in half, so they're flat, and then you just put the flat side down. Not anything particular regarding a pattern. you know, just kind of spread them all out. Don't worry about it. It's going to be rolled up. So this is about a pound of meatballs. You know, I'll put this in the recipe. So I think there was 20 meatballs here. So if you had to do it by count, for 1 pound of pizza dough, okay, one, you know, round ball of pizza dough that we roll out here, it's about 20 or 1 pound of meatballs. Seems to do it just right. Okay, so we're spreading these out, you know, give themselves some room in between them. Again, they're already cooked, so they're just going to be heated up as the stromboli bakes. A meatball stromboli. At that point, we've got them spread out. We just take some of our mozzarella cheese, kind of just spread it all around these meatballs. It'll fall down in all those little crevices in there, covering them up, and we roll it. They'll get encased with this mozzarella cheese. So it's about I think I put a couple of cups, pound or so, of the mozzarella cheese. So maybe, this is probably about a half a pound. Then I've got some Parmesan cheese. You can get a block and grate it yourself if you'd like, or just buy it in those tumblers that it comes in the jars. And that's it. Now if you want, you can put some basil or oregano, whatever else you'd like in there. I'm not going to do any of that. Now here's a trick I want to show you. You could certainly just roll it like this. We're going to put seam side down so it doesn't open up. But you can put a little, like, what we call glue in here. Some people just use water, that's fine, or you could use an egg wash. Simply 1 egg beaten up with some water in it. That's all. It's called an egg wash. This will provide excellent glue and make sure this is sealed. So that's why I didn't bring the marinara sauce all the way out to the edge, because that's where I'm going to put this egg wash. Okay, on the top edge and then down the sides. And that's going to hold our stromboli. Okay, so we've got our glue on there. Now what we do is have to roll it up like a jelly roll. So starting on this edge here, fold it in and pinch it down. This is going to be the center. Okay, and then we keep going. And then when we get up to this side part here, we're going to kind of move this flap in a little bit. Pinch it down on itself. That's going to provide like a little pocket there. All right, and then just keep rolling. Roll it up, try to make it tight, but you don't want to break the dough. Just roll it, tucking in those edges as you go. All right, and then we're going to roll it right up on this strip of egg wash. And that's going to seal it closed. And that's going to be the bottom of our stromboli. Okay, tuck in the sides here. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Now we're just going to put it onto this tray here. So like I said, you could put a spray or you could use some parchment paper. So I'm going to move your tray here in front of it, lift it up. You know, sometimes I use a spatula to help me. Or if you just put half first, and then the second half. I usually have to curve it a little bit because it's so long. And there. And the last thing you want to do is put a couple of slits in the top to release the steam. That way you won't have blowouts as it's baking. So I just kind of usually put them on an angle, little slices. Okay, and sometimes I'll even take, if I have extra egg wash, I'll put a little on top, which makes a nice little glaze there for it when it bakes. So it'll make it look a little bit nicer, and sometimes I'll even put a little Parmesan on there. It kind of bakes into that crust. And we're going to put this into a 400-degree oven until it's baked and cooked through. It's going to be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes top. Keep an eye on it, because ovens always vary if it's a convection oven or a regular conventional oven. Okay, mine's on 400, so I'm going to put that in and get it baking. Now we'll go on to the next calzone. Okay, now we're on to our second one, which I call Wicked Easy Deli Stromboli. This is the traditional one with the cold cuts and the sliced cheeses in the stromboli. So I'm going to put hard salami, like a Genoa salami. Got pepperoni, which is classic. I'm going to put on some ham and some provolone cheese, mozzarella, a little Parmesan. But you could put, you know, prosciutto in there. You could put capicola, mortadella, any types of meats that you want. And you can even put turkey or something if you want to try to make it a little bit more healthier. So I have the recipes here, which I will post at the end. You can see they're pretty simple, but again, leaves it all up to whatever you want to put in there. So I have my dough, it's already rolled out. For this one, I like to put in a little garlic oil. So I have garlic that's just been in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You can see the chunks of garlic in there. This is going to give a nice fragrance to the bread. I'm also going to keep it a little bit moist. So I'm going to just spread this. Again, leaving that top seam free and the side seams, you know, the edges I mean, because that's where I'm going to put our egg wash to kind of seal this whole thing. So I'm putting the garlic around here and I'm brushing it in. I'm going to go right up to this edge here with it. So this is about a tablespoon of olive oil mixed in with like a teaspoon of chopped garlic. So that's all you need for one of these. And again, I'll put this in the recipe for you. Wow, and that smells good. Okay, so put this off to the side. I like this. Nice, put some Parmesan on that too. And it kind of hardens on it, makes it like a little bit of a crust on the inside. And now we just have to assemble. So I usually like to start with a piece of meat, you know, not cheese on the edge. So here we'll put the salami. It's okay if they overlap, you know, but you know, try to spread it out. I'm going to use about a quarter pound or so of this. It's sliced very thin. So when you order it from your deli, you could tell them whatever size you want. So if it's thin and overlaps, it's really not a problem. Okay, and then we just keep doing this. I'm going to do this with the ham, I'm going to do it with the pepperoni, and then I'm going to do it with the cheese on top of that, and I'm going to roll it all up. So I'm just going to keep doing this, and I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so I just covered the salami here with the pepperoni. When you order the pepperoni, always try to get the sandwich style. You know, they're bigger than those little tiny ones, or the smaller round ones like the quarter size that you see on pizzas. That way that gives you more coverage on your stromboli. All right, so now I'm going to put ham. And we just keep going. We just keep building these layers. Now the ham, because it's so big, gives you a lot more surface area, so it's a little bit easier to spread on your stromboli. Okay, so my ham is just about done here covering it. So when you make yours, just think about what do you like on an Italian sandwich, Italian sub. You know, what do you like on that? And that's probably what you could put on it. I know some people will put those, you know, banana peppers on here, or you could, you know, put some of that red pepper relish. You know, so whatever you like. And now I've got my provolone cheese. I think this is about, you know, a quarter of a pound. So it'll give you enough slices. Again, put this on there. And overlapping a little bit is okay as well. Okay, once the provolone is on, now you can just sprinkle it with some grated mozzarella here. That'll be good. And then you could put some, you know, ground pepper on here. Again, some fresh basil leaves if you wanted. I have some Kalamata olives. I like that on mine, so I'm going to spread some of that around. And it's totally up to you. And now, let's apply our glue, our egg wash to the edges. And just getting that on all those exposed pieces of crust and down the sides. Okay, and then down this side here. And a little bit more at the top. Now let's roll it up and get it on our sheet tray. And start at the end and pinch it down. Rolling it in nice and tight like a jelly roll. Fold in those sides. Okay, fold in the sides here. Keep on rolling. Nice and tight. Gotta keep out those air pockets. And fold it right up on that egg washed side. And that's going to be our seam, and that's going to be the part that's down on our cookie sheet. Now you can see that's a lot longer than this sheet, so I'm definitely going to have to curve it. So pick it up halfway, start it down here, pick up this side, start it back down here. Make sure that seam is on the bottom there. What's going on here? Okay. There we go. A couple of slashes in the top. And a little more egg wash if we wanted to on the top here. I'm going to put a little of this garlic oil since I have some left. Okay, in the oven it goes. Okay, I'm gonna make this last one, and then we'll see you when it's finished. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes. That Stromboli is done. Let's get it out, take a look. Okay, this is the meatball one. You know, it's really puffed up and got that nice golden color from the egg white. And this is the one with the deli meats in it, so I have that one as well. There's one more in here. That my kids made. Look at how puffed up that is. Pepperoni blowing right out the side. That's a really nice one. So put that one over here. So we have these, once they come out of the oven, 20, 25 minutes, just keep an eye on them depending on what type of oven you have. Just let them rest because that cheese in there is all almost liquefied. It's been so, hot in there, it's all melted. So you just want to let it rest, the dough rest, it'll harden up a little bit, and the cheese will kind of get a little solid. So that way when you slice it, you get better slices out of it. So we're just going to let these rest right now. It's going to be wonderful when we cut it open. I mean, just think about all those flavorful oils that are coming out of those cold cuts, that salami and that ham and the cheese, and it's getting absorbed into that dough as it bakes up. So it's going to be packed with flavor. So I can't wait. 2 minutes, we're going to cut those. Okay, so let's cut these. And take a piece off and put it onto our tray here. Ooh, look at that. Okay, let's cut a piece of this one. Ooh, the meatballs. Then I can move these out of the way. I should tell you, these are great cold too. A lot of times, we'll just slice them up the next day. We'll put them in our kids' lunch, take them to school. They're great cold and chilled down. So let's cut these. So we have the meatball one. We got a couple plates here. Got some extra marinara sauce, just warm it up. You can see that meatballs in there, the cheese, the dough. The heat that's still coming off of that. Got the marinara in there. We'll put, maybe 3 slices here. Okay, you can look at that with the meatballs. The extra marinara in there, the dough, easy to make. Let's do the other one. Oh, this is the one I put the olives in. Yum. Can't wait. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? You see those little wraps in there? All the layers. It's like a strudel or as we mentioned before, a jelly roll. So that's that. That's that. Now, gotta taste it. Still warm. Really, really good. You guys got to try this, really. Make this, put it out as a party, Super Bowl party, football party, having a poker night, whatever you want. Make this. You can make it in advance. Let it sit on the tray. Just throw it in the oven just to warm it up real quick before your guests arrive. Slice it up. Put this out on a tray. Little bowl of marinara. Some people put mustard. They want it with the deli meats. You'd be the hit of the party. Well, thanks for watching. Please share this recipe, hit the like button, thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't. Look forward to seeing you with other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.